John.
Back to the jobs numbers, Jay. I seem to remember you at the podium not long ago showing us charts of jobs growth over the past a couple of years, and the implication taking some credit, the White House taking credit for the president's policies and contributing to job growth. Now we have this report, I mean, barely treading water, 74,000 jobs created, and probably more ominously, the workforce rate,
Participation rate.
participation rate, you're down at a low for almost 40 years. What
Pretty
do
much
you
where it's been since 2009, but yeah.
So does the White House, does the president's policies have anything to do, are to blame at all for this jobs report?
John, as I think you note, when we talk about the monthly jobs reports, we always begin with the fact that whether it exceeds expectations or comes in below expectations, that there is more work to do, and this report is no different. What it does represent is 46 consecutive months of private sector job creation, 8.2 million jobs.
I mean,
over that period.
jobs is barely anything in an economy this
John,
large,
it just
right?
reinforces that we need to continue to have job growth, economic security, economic mobility as our top priorities, and that those priorities are the president's priorities, and he wants to work with Congress and wants to work with others outside of Congress to advance an agenda that delivers on those priorities, that continues the recovery, that expands the opportunity that economic growth affords. So there's no question that when you have, again, I think we've seen periods where, of late, where the numbers have come in way over expectations, and we see periods where they come in below. What we have seen generally is consistent private sector job creation. What we have seen also, labor participation rate notwithstanding, is a fall in the unemployment rate from 10% to 6.7%. 6.7% is too high. It is too high. That's why we need to, despite the drop, it is too high. That's why we have to keep working and have this as our focus and not get hung up over ideological fights when we need to be focused on what we can do, coming together to spur job creation and economic opportunity. That's what the president's focused on.
But do you see this as an ominous jobs report?
I'm not an economist. I think our economists were out there talking about it today. What we've seen in general over recent months has been largely positive economic data. I'm not suggesting this is anything beyond the latest report, but I would point you to economists to give you a broader macro picture of where we are economically. The fact is, we have work to do. We're continuing to grow, we're continuing to create jobs, but we have to grow faster and we have to create more jobs. That should be our priority here in Washington. That's what folks in the country expect our priorities to be. They don't want us relitigating old ideological fights. They don't want us veering off to have debates about issues that don't seem to affect their lives directly. So President's very focused on these matters, and you've heard him talk about them a lot lately, and you'll hear him talk about them a lot in the coming days and weeks.
And if I can follow up on